in product. 4,000 came from 41 new skincare clients. I had 21 Time-Wise, 9 Clear Proof, 2 Repair, and 1 Botanical. During the 4 months, my average sale per face went from $46 to $72 per face. Because what was she selling? Sets. She was selling sets. At the initial Glow and Tell appointment, my average sale was actually $97 per face. Okay, since my first month, I added 11 new team members to my growing team and future unit. 2 were stars, 4 were qualified, 3 are active, and 2 still need to make a decision. But 8 out of the 11 recruits joined after attending a Glow and Tell event or taking the 21-day challenge themselves. My personal team production from those first 4 months was $2,596. But the next 4 months, my personal team production was $12,163. Because those people that joined also did the 21-day challenge, also sold skincare sets when they did their Power Start, and they saw the value of having inventory and selling skincare sets. Did I mention the value of hashtag 21-day challenge, hashtag Glow and Tell? Do you see another value right there? Absolutely. Of what could happen, not just with your sales, but also if I'm going to add new team members who see that same value in doing what I was doing. And so they won't do that if you don't really kind of get in their face. Because if I find out right at the beginning when someone's joining that, well, it makes my skin feel greasy. Well, let me change your formula. Well, it feels dry. Well, let me change my formula. You all change. I mean, how many of you really use like one set of 4 steps? How many intermingle things? How many of you intermingle things?
Yeah.
Look at that. Yet you expect a new consultant to come in and use 4 steps and it be perfect for them, right? No wonder they're afraid to sell sets because they don't know what to do. Here's another thought for directors. If you have meetings or if you're consultants and you don't go to meetings, here's why you might want to go to a meeting that did this. I always love when the directors like you to have guests come to the meeting, right? Bring guests. Bring guests. Bring guests. Bring guests. Does anybody bring guests? Not always.
No.
True story?
Not always.
Very true story. Okay, this is what I'm saying. You may only bring 2 guests. Do you hear me? 2. 1, we're going to teach, and this first meeting that we're going to have is we're going to talk about the Time-Wise 3D. I would like you to bring one of your clients that's on the 3D and one that is not, but only 2. You can only bring 2 guests. 1 on, 1 off. Okay? I'm going to take your on people, I'm going to make a panel. Okay? The people that are sitting out there that are not on it, and they're going to listen to me train and listen to their guests who use it. Are they going to buy Time-Wise Repair? And are the consultants that come that don't understand what Time-Wise Repair, will they understand it after I get done training on it with panel of people? Yes? And next week, we're going to do the Time-Wise Repair. And you can only bring how many? 2 guests. 1 on repair, 1 who are not. People with wrinkles buy. Okay? They got money. Okay? And they don't like wrinkles. They're going to buy. And I'm going to have another week where it's going to be the clear proof. People with zits, okay? Or oily skin. Do you understand? Look at what could happen.
Yeah.
Tell me if you're excited yet.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. All my life I've loved clappers. Okay. I want to share this because I believe after 30 years in this company, first of all, again, I don't think that you can just look at this and figure it out. I think you have to be taught how to use this. This is not for everybody because some of you don't like details and it's too much for you and you just don't want to be messed with this, okay? It's just too much. And so I'm not saying that you have to, but I want you to open up. I hate when you read and I'm reading and talking, so you can't read when I'm talking. Is that bad? That's if I was an English teacher. I'm so sorry. Okay, but here's the deal. Open up just to the first page and right up here, and this is what I want you to go, where it says right here, okay? Where it says 2% of the sales and bookings happen on the first contact, 3% on the second, 4% on the third contact, 10% on the fourth contact, 81% on the fifth contact. You are not calling somebody 5 times. You're about dying after the first time somebody said, no, you're done. I'm never asking another person, much less asking somebody twice. Is that not true? But the statistics are right here. My husband is in sales, insurance broker, and he could only go, like people would have, they would, once a year, he would write them down and he'd go back the second year and then the third year. And sometimes it would take 3 or 4 years for him to get a client. But if it was a business, it was a big deal. And they didn't even pay attention the first year and about the third. Were you here before? They'd say to him, yeah, I was here. I've been here every year. And then they might think about it. But we don't do that. And so I'm just saying that this is statistics. This isn't something I made up. These are the statistics, but we don't do it. We pretend like we're a business, but we aren't. We just are playing with Mary Kay. But if we want to have a real business, we got to go by the statistics. We got to go with what they say. So what I love about this is that you don't dedicate yourself to Mary Kay. Most of you are part-time. So most of you directors are part-time too, some of you. I'm going to harass them a little bit. They've had to stick with me the whole morning. Imagine how awful that would have been. Okay, so here's the deal. You do something and then you get inundated with family and everything, and then you think, oh, I got to go back and she told me to do that 21-day challenge. What do I do? What do I do? I'm not sure. How do I start? And what do you say? I've got a green book I got to get a hold of. Where's my green book? It's all in one place. This is the teacher in me. Like I would make my students have a notebook that was their English notebook. Bring the stinking English notebook there. Put the stuff in there that's the English notebook, and then I know that you got that notebook. When you come to my class, we got a better shot at passing my class if you bring the English notebook. Yes? That's where this thought process came from, is that's who I am. I also know that people like processes and they don't remember things consistently. If you don't do them over and over again, you can't remember, or I can't. I can't remember. But if I have something to follow, then I can. Yes? So the beauty of this, it tells you what supplies you need. Now, this is what I always laugh. If you don't have an orange highlighter and you have a red one, it's okay, all right? Those C personalities, I can't do it till I get an orange highlighter. We'll let it go, okay? Let some of it go. All right, but it does tell you that you need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? All right, now this is something, this one, and so, you look at this, some people will say, I'll do part of it, but I'm not doing all of it. Well, then don't expect it to work. All right, so don't pay your $10 or sell it to somebody. Okay, so this monthly sales goal tracking sheet, like it says you have to have a picture of your goal that you want to spend your money on. I don't have time to go into stories, but stories I can share with you of consultants of mine who actually had a specific goal. It was a light over the sink. She was so hated that she couldn't really see when she was doing dishes. A light over the sink. But I said, you can't put a light unless you find out how much does it cost, not only to buy the light, because you don't know how to put that stinking light in. You got to find out what's it going to cost to have somebody. You got to have all that down. Seriously, we cheered so hard when Marcia Hiles got her light over her sink, right? But she knew, she had a picture of it, she knew how much it cost, and she knew what she had to do, because it tells you, I am saving for this. I have to have this profit divided by 40, and that's the retail amount I need to sell to be able to make it. That's what we need. Okay, sorry, turn the page. Okay. Now this one, we put this out there because I find that most people don't track. They don't have anything, they don't know how to track, they don't track, blah, blah. We're not gonna go into this. This is a whole nother class that your directors will teach, all right? But I'm just gonna tell you that this helps, all right? But here's where I'm gonna go. And do you see it's up in red? This is so funny because, I don't know, it wasn't in red. It was not just written in there. And then I had one of my directors was really successful using this, and another director was not. She was ticked. She said, Erica's doing all this stuff, and I'm not doing it. And I said, well, I don't know. Why don't you call Erica and see why she's having so much success and you're not? Well, Erica actually read and did what it said, and Tracy did not. She just did the parts that she wanted, but she never really read the whole thing. Now, Tracy, who's doing it all, is actually having success too. So when I say this, don't be saying it doesn't work if you don't read it all, okay? So, okay. That's why I put that little addendum there. It says, all right, in a notebook, whatever, you're gonna put the name and number, are you with me, of 10 contacts on day 1. On day 2, you're gonna put the name and number of the next 10 contacts. On day 3, you're gonna put the name of the last 10. So the first thing I'm gonna ask you is to get 30 names. You're gonna need more than that for this to be successful, but 30. And the reason I'm doing 30, you can even take clients, because remember we talked about getting people back on the skincare regimen? Could you come up with 30 names? That's what we're asking. Okay, on day 1, contact your first 10 contacts using script number 1 and script number 2. So you're gonna make how many contacts in one day? 10, 20, really, correct? But remember that we said that it takes 5 to really get the best percentage. You're gonna do 2 in one day. One's gonna be verbal, or, and one's gonna be by texted, okay? All right, now, then it says use a highlighter, and it tells you how to highlight them. If they say, don't ever call me again, you get to cross them off in black. It's awesome. All right, so they're done. Okay, but if they don't reply, are you following me? You move their name 3 days ahead on your daily habits sheet, and if they don't reply after each contact, you move their name ahead 3 days until you end up contacting at least 5 times over 10 days. If they don't reply, you put their name on the monthly list to contact 2 months from now. Now you say, I don't do that kind of stuff, because you don't say it, but you are a woman of your word. This is the interesting part of this, because this is what it says. Now listen to what it says. Don't look, just listen, okay? All right. There's a script that you follow. If I don't hear back from you, I'll follow up in a few days. That's the line. If I don't hear back from you, are you a woman of your word? If you tell them that you'll follow up in a few days, will you follow up? But if you just say, call me back, and they don't call you back, you're never going to call them.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see the difference?
Yes.
So you got the script to remind you to say, all right, you can call or message me back, thanks so much. And then you don't hear from them and you call them again, you know what it says? I know you're super busy, so I'll follow up again in a couple days if I don't hear from you. Thanks again. That's the next. Do you see what you're doing? Is you're giving yourself the responsibility and permission to follow up. Now, so it tells you on I'm back here, day 1, I'm gonna make 10 contacts, and I have all the scripts I need here. On day 2, I've got 10 new contacts, correct? On day 3, I've got 10 new contacts, right? Same scripts, 10 new contacts. On day 4, I'm contacting all 10 of my day 1 leads, unless someone booked or somebody said no. Yes? And I get to use script 3, contact 3. It's a new script, right? And again, what's it going to say if they don't answer? I'm going to call you back in a couple days. So then I get to do on day 7. Yes? And what's it going to say at the end if they don't answer? I'll call you back in a few days. And I get to call on day 10. So you have a formula that you have to follow if you want to be successful and you want to get bookings. This is not a 21-day challenge. This is a challenge for your career.
Yeah.
If you want to be. Somebody did this back in the day and they called it the 21-day challenge, and I hated it because my 21-day challenge was for skincare.
Mm-hmm.
This is not a 21-day challenge. This is how you stay successful in Mary Kay.
Yeah.
Now, the cool thing about this is script 1 and 2, day 1, contact 1 and 2, right? Same thing, 2 contacts in 1 day. This is what you might, if you were a new consultant, what you could say. This is if you're calling a friend or family member. This is if it's a referral. This is hashtag glow and tell. Here's a vendor event or a facial box. And here's a bridal lead. Most of your people would fit into those categories. Would you agree?
Yes.
So I've got a script. Now, if you wanted to change a word or two, of course you could, but you'd change it in your green book that a week later that you're going to pull out your green book because you got behind and you didn't call your 10, and you're going to pull out your green book and you've made it yours. Your script, your green book, your list, you know what to do with it. Tell me if you like this.
Yes.
Isn't it? So then you've got script 3 on day 4. That's the same thing. Here's what I say if I'm calling the new consultants. Here's what I say if they were the vendors. Here's what I say if they were the glow and tell. Yes? I know what to say. Same thing happens. I turn the page. So if somebody was brand new and they looked at this book, they would run. Wouldn't they? They would run screaming from the room and they would never, ever want to be in Mary Kay. I would never show this to anybody who was brand new. But for somebody who has tried to book, for somebody who has some clients who knows that I don't call people 5 times, I sometimes stumble over my words, I don't know the words to use. Isn't it nice just to have them?
Yes.
And it has a formula for the 3 days. And then here it is on my day 7, and here it is on my day 10. And at the day 10, it says, hey, I'll assume you're super busy right now, and we'll follow up in a few months. Have a great holiday season. Call you in January. You didn't say I'm never going to. If they don't want to talk to you anymore, do you know what they're going to do? They'll let you know because they're tired of hearing from you. Truly, wouldn't you rather than to feel uncomfortable, not knowing, because I've left these messages and I don't know. So I just left it open. I'll call you again. And if you don't want me to, then you can let me know. I just love giving them permission and an explanation of, I'm a businesswoman. This is a business. And this is how a business actually treats it. Yes?
Yes.
You wouldn't have come here at 11 o'clock today after you didn't even know who I was till yesterday, most of you. You felt some urge after I yelled a lot yesterday, right? You thought, well, maybe she's got something to say I should listen to. I'm not sure. She sounds like she went to a lot of places with what she did. So you thought, I'm going to give this a try. But these are the kind of things, it's a process. It's an every just day. Now let's say I don't want to do 10 contacts a day. You said you had to. Why don't you do 5? If all you want to do is 5, do 5. 5. Yeah? Right? I mean, how cool is that? Do 5. Not everybody has the same goals. It's okay. But if at least I do 5, that's more than most of you are doing every day. True?
Yes.
Yes. So do 5. Do 1. I don't care. Do 2. Do 2 contacts a day. That's more than you're doing. Then do 2. All right. Then this is the funny part. this is the part that people don't read, you know? Ugh, I hate reading. Oh, you might want to. Okay, this is example responses. After booking example, could you confirm your mailing address? Would like to send you a hostess packet. You know, you don't always think about that. They say yes, they want to get booked, then what do? Oh my gosh, you're screwing up. You don't have the next step. But if I have it here, and I figure out, and I put a little star, because this is what I do, oh my gosh, you're going to have what? One book with everything in it. I need my green book. I need my green book because I have to go, I have to go book that person, and I got to go follow up with them and make sure that they've got everything for the class. I just need, where's my green book? Do you like the idea?
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay, now, so all of here is overcoming common booking objections. I don't have the time, I'm too busy. Look at, just read that. My house isn't big enough. I don't know anybody to invite. I'll have to check with my friends, which is like a slow death. That'll never happen. I wouldn't want to waste your time. I already used brand X. I tried Mary Kay once and I broke out. If you've been in Mary Kay for 2 weeks, you've heard these.
Mm-hmm.
And here's some answers, because sometimes we get tongue-tied. We don't know how to respond. We don't know what words. But I got my green book. I can look it up. I can look at it before I start talking to people. And then, these are texting conversations that somebody did, yes, real life. These aren't made up. This isn't like some corporate person that put this together. These are my directors that used these. I'm just telling you, they all have done this, yes? And so they're the ones that said, this is what I use. Can you see that this took a lot of time for them to put this all together? And that's why when I say that we charge $10, I don't think I'm being out of line to do that for something like this. I think this is an invaluable resource, and there's a very little compensation after we usually, ship them. They ship them. I don't do it. Somebody ships them, and you get this book and you've got it. I think there's value in this. You guys especially get the value of that pace setters class that you're going to be able to work at your own level. All right, so they talk about when people, crickets, where you don't like when people don't answer. You've got an answer to that. Then I liked this one. One of my directors really uses beauty experiences rather than what she calls classes or parties. And so she described how she does her beauty experience using Facebook event posts. And she's got a great average for what her beauty experience events are. She gets some major sales because she gets people there. And she talks about how she gets people excited about coming to a beauty experience and trying, whether it's the mask, whatever it is that she entices them. It could be the microdermabrasion, it could be the facial peel, but she entices them to come. And so she's got 8 Facebook posts that she worked diligently to share with you that this is how she gets people to come to a beauty experience. And then I just was talking to your directors about PCP. And could I have a show of hands of how many people signed up for the holiday PCP? Would you raise your hands, please? Good for you. Good for you. Okay. And sometimes you think, why should I do that? Or what's the benefits of it? And sometimes you think, what do I do after I? And so this is the preferred customer program, follow-up scripts, and guess how many contacts? Yes? Contact, 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 contact. And maybe then I'm going to get a better chance of an order. So we put that in there because my national area felt so strongly about PCP and the benefits of what it could do. So can you share with me what your questions might be after I've shown something like this? Comments about it? Awesome. Good. Amazing. Very detailed. Very specific. Very, I hope, user-friendly. Meaning that it's not, once you understand it, Yes, okay?